Good afternoon, YouTubers. I'm not an expert, and this is a follow-up on a flea market finds video. Last week, I picked up this chisel. It was part of a kind of a bundle purchase where I got a tenon cutter. The chisel was covered with drywall mud and was pretty beat up and very dull. So I cleaned it up, buffed it off a little bit, flattened the back, and sharpened it, and it came out pretty nice. And underneath all that drywall mud, I was able to see a maker's mark. Can you guys see that? Try to get the glare right in here. It's dark out right now, so it's a little tough to get good lighting. It's hard to see, but it is a Stiletto. So Stiletto is a brand that came from Baker and Hamilton, and they started out during 1849 in Sacramento selling tools to gold rushers. Kind of neat. Sacramento's only a couple hours from here, so it's kind of fun to find something somewhat local. They apparently were quite successful company. They were in business for a long time. Now, last summer, and I don't remember exactly when, but this is also a Stiletto chisel. Very different maker's mark. I haven't fixed this one up, so this one's still dull. But you'll see the maker's mark on that one is very small. Maker's mark on this one is pretty big, which suggests obviously not made at the same time, but also possibly made by different companies, because I don't think Stiletto made their own stuff. There's not a ton of information out there, but I believe they would have contracted these out to some company. So kind of neat. And in a similar vein, since we're looking at maker's marks on chisels that I've collected, this is a Buck Brothers. Now, the Buck Brothers are pretty well known on the internet forums and stuff. Supposedly pretty good chisels. This one needs a new handle. Probably got it with this one because they're both cut off real stubby. Maybe someone liked them like that. And this one I also haven't fixed up, but they have a pretty good reputation for being easy to sharpen and holding a half decent edge for something that's easy to sharpen. Kind of neat. Also, I can't date it, but I would say compared to the other ones I saw on the internet, this is a very modest maker's mark. And sometimes they had a buck's head, a deer, and, or fancier name. So maybe this is a little later. I don't know. I always kind of assume everything I get's a little newer, not super antique. Another one that I picked up, and I don't recall where. I've had this for a while. I apparently paid $4 for it, so I think I got that. There's a tool seller at my flea market who marks a lot of stuff with blue Sharpie. Probably bought it from him because I wanted a big chisel. And this one is let's see if I can get it so you can see it. It's a Stanley 720. Can you read that? I don't know if you can read it. Anyways, a Stanley 720, which would have been like a Stanley 750, was a regular chisel. This would have been, I guess, the 720s were paring chisels. It's pretty long. This one's also very wide. I think the only difference is paring chisel will be longer. So that's kind of a fun one. And a name that if you look on eBay, the prices on those are all over the place. $20 to maybe $60 or $70. No idea what makes one of those valuable. Another one, even bigger. This is a big chisel. And I sharpened this one up because I wanted a wide chisel for something. But I find that its length actually makes it pretty awkward. It is really long. I had to put my own handle on it. I made that out of a piece of ash. Didn't do any finishing. But if we get up close and look at the maker's mark, it's really hard to see, but that's a Zenith. Okay, and I looked up Zenith, which, let's see, Zenith Chisel, the Marshall Wells Hardware Company. They were in business from 1886 to 1958. Pretty big company. Sounds like they did pretty well for a while. But like a lot of companies that made these kind of tools, between the 50s and 60s, things weren't so great anymore. A lot of power tools coming out then. Let's see, what else do I have in ancient chisels? So I'll save that one. This one, I think I actually bought this on eBay. I don't remember. It's a mortising chisel, and I don't see any maker's marks on it at all. So who knows where it came from. But it's a 1/4 inch wide, and I have used it to make mortises, and it's kind of fun to use. I'm not sure it's really not that beefy, so it's probably not that much different than using a regular chisel when you're going to mortise. It's unfortunate it doesn't really have any identification. Got some jimping. I don't think that's on purpose. It's pretty consistent. Well, it's a little odd though. Anyways, one more I have to show. No idea who made this one because it is super rusty. And I can't see through the rust and pitting. I don't see any marks. It appears to be a big old mortising chisel. It's pretty wide. Let's see. Grab a tape here. That's almost 5/8 of an inch. That's a pretty wide chisel. Pretty beefy. I wonder what that is in metric. Maybe it's a metric size because it doesn't seem quite 5/8 of an inch. It's a little thinner, but maybe that's on purpose, or maybe it came from somewhere. I got this at a car show, and the guy said he found it in the trunk of a car in a cardboard box with a bunch of other junk. It's pretty abused. It may have been used. That's way past opening paint cans. So let me get it focused for you. It's beat up, but I could get on the grinder and fix that up. I just haven't taken the time to do it. All right, so that's my already too large collection of vintage chisels. I don't generally use them because I do have a modern set of chisels that I like that are clean and crisp and work really good. But these are fun to collect, and they are usable. A lot of these chisels in the day had good steel and can be put to work. A lot of fun. All right, well, that's all I've got for today. Flea market will be closed because it's been snowing, so I probably won't have anything for a bit. We'll catch you later.